Today we're back again on the 97 Dodge Ram. This is a SST model. If you guys haven't seen the other videos, we've basically been lowering this truck and we've been kind of working on the front suspension. I had the jingle bells down here because everything was just, I don't know, it sounded like something was loose. Everything's just worn out. So what we're gonna do, since we lowered the truck, we are going to try to shorten this sway bar end link, remove the bump stop, and cut the coil, the springs half a turn now, because we cut one whole turn, so it's gonna be 3-inch drop in the front. One full turn off of the spring gave us a 2-inch drop, and it still looks like it has a little bit of a lean, so we're gonna cut half a turn right now, and hopefully that gives us that extra inch that we need to lower the truck up in the front. We got the new shocks in there, so we're gonna remove that. We're gonna remove the caliper because this video is supposed to be for the ball joints only, but since we're getting up in here and removing all this, might as well remove that, shorten this. Oh, and also we have to pull out the control arm just a little bit because since we lowered the truck, it's kind of leaning in from the top. It has a little bit of camber. So we got the wheel off, we got it on jack stands, and I believe the first thing we're gonna do is remove the caliper. So this caliper has some Allen bolts in the back. These are 3/8. There's one up top and one on the bottom. This is the one up top. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these, and then I'm gonna set the caliper on these 2x4s right here, just so it could not put too much stress on the rubber line. Next, we're going to remove these two 14mm nuts for the shock. So I'm gonna have to do it with 2 hands. Now that the shock is loose and out the way, we just gotta pull it down a little bit. But we're gonna get over here to the tie rod. We're gonna remove this nut and smack this with the hammer so it could drop down and get this tie rod off of the knuckle. Okay, now with that out the way, we're gonna remove this. I think it's a 15 or a 14. What is it? It's a 15. We're gonna loosen the nut so we could release the sway bar off of this sway bar end link. Now that the sway bar end link is out of the way, we're going to remove the bump stop, and that's a size 15 as well. Okay, now with the bump stop and all that out of the way, we're gonna remove the nut for the top ball joint. It's a 7/8, and then the nut for this lower ball joint, it has a cotter pin, so we have to remove the cotter pin and then get to that. It's a size 15/16 for the bottom nut. Okay, now that we have both nuts loose, we're just not removing them completely because we don't want the whole knuckle to drop. We're gonna leave the the rotor on there. We're gonna use this separator and smack it here so I can release it from the top, and then we're gonna do the bottom, and then we'll put you guys back on. Now that both are loose, we're gonna go ahead and remove both nuts, top and bottom. Then I'm gonna let the spindle slide out of the way. By the way, we have the jack under the control arm, so I could release some of the tension on the suspension, and also we're gonna let it go down slowly so the spring doesn't come offline. So this is exactly what a ball joint shouldn't look like. You hear that? I'm gonna show you the driver's side right now. These are the driver's side ball joints. This is the bottom one. This is the the upper ball joint, driver's side. Now we have to go ahead and press these out, remove them completely. But before we do that, we're gonna lower the jack just slowly, kind of slow, so that you could let go of the spring. And since this one's cut, it's easier for it to come out. We're gonna cut half a turn off of this. and then we'll be able to slide it back on. And we're not gonna put the bump stops right now because we don't have any shorter bump stops. You can see that this has a little clip right here. So in order to remove that clip, we have to use this needle nose, or oh shit, you need to be careful with that. But these special little things, well, you don't have to, but that's kind of like the proper tool to use to remove this. And you gotta be careful so that thing won't smack you in the face. Now I'm gonna get the ball joint removal tool right there so we can press these out with the impact. So we got this kit. I forgot, I think it's a ball joint press. It says attention, do not use the impact wrench, which we are gonna use. So we're not gonna do this by hand. And you basically just gotta piece whatever you can just to get these out. So this is like two different things from the kit. And we have the big C-clamp, and it has all these other ones. We're gonna use this. We're gonna insert the ball joint here, and then we're gonna hit it with the impact up here. So that got pressed right out. Now we gotta press this one differently. Well, similar, but we're not gonna use these three pieces off of the kit. We're gonna use that right on top. We're probably gonna use this one on the bottom, and then we have to use the other one of these that sits on that. It was getting caught up in the first clip, so I couldn't show you guys, but it popped out basically. Second one. You could hear these. Okay, so now we're gonna get to cutting these springs because the new ball joints are still not here, but they're gonna get delivered in a bit. So like I said, I'm just gonna use the grinder. I'm not gonna show you guys, but we're gonna cut straight, like right here, half a turn. So we just got the ball joints in. These are the SKPs, 2 upper, 2 lower. Side doesn't matter, obviously. We cut the spring also. You can see the half coils over there, and we just loosened up these nuts for the control arm. So we're gonna pull the control arm forward and then tighten the nuts again. I don't know if you have a lot of play or not, but we're gonna see what we can do to correct the camber issue. So I loosened both of these nuts with the 15/16 socket. I pulled the control arm out as much as possible. Now I'm gonna try to install the lower ball joint, and I'm gonna remove this rubber boot first, and then I'm gonna see if I can find something that fits in here, and I'm gonna use that C-clamp just to press it all the way up in here. But before I do that, I'm gonna hit this with the wire wheel just to remove the rust or anything, the buildup that's right here. So we cut the spring. The spring is back in. This upper ball joint is in with the little grease nipple. The only thing we're having issue with is the lower ball joint. We're not able to install it. It keeps going sideways. I don't know why. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back tomorrow and try it again because it's already too late to be making noise. And we have the measurement for this. So for the sway bar end link, we're gonna use a 8-inch bolt with a 3-inch spacer or sleeve to space to act as this piece right here. Since we went 3-inch lower on the truck from stock, we're gonna go 3-inch lower on the sway bar end link. We greased up the pins, the caliper pins, and yeah, so as soon as we install the lower ball joint, the knuckle could go back in. We also loosened these 2 nuts and pulled the controller. I think I mentioned that earlier in the video, but we pulled it all the way out, and let's see how it sits once we put the truck down. But basically that compensates for the 3-inch drop, because since these lower control arms, I don't think they have any adjustment to where you can slide them in. When you lower the truck, since these are completely flat, it'll push. I don't know if you guys could understand, but imagine this going all the way up this ball joint sticks out further because it goes like this because of the length of the lower control arm. So then this control arm, if you don't move it from the stock position, it's gonna be all the way in here. So when you lower the truck, this lower control arm is like this, almost completely straight, and this upper control arm is basically in its stock position. So that means the tire leans in. So when you pull it out, that will straighten out the wheel. Hopefully it's enough, and if it's too much, then we'll loosen up the 2 nuts and then push the control arm in a little bit till we kind of get it straight enough to drive it to the alignment shop. And we're also gonna have to mess with the tie rods so that we can get it kind of aligned. But yeah, put you guys back on tomorrow. All right, so we got everything put back on. The only thing we're working on is the sway bar end link. Got the tie rods in. We loosened up these sleeves to be able to adjust it. Put the shock back on. All ball joints are in. They're greased up. Calipers back on. We greased up the pins. So yeah, I'm just gonna get to the sway bar end links hopefully today. If not, we're just gonna figure out a way to get this out of the way for now so we could be able to drive the truck and align it. We also cut half of the spring off, like I said before. We torqued these to 95, I believe, the bottom 80 and 100, I think, something like that. What else? I think that's pretty much it right now. I'm gonna try to get this sway bar end link off because it's stuck, and then once the truck is back on the ground, I'll put you guys back on to see where it sits. So it's been a couple of days, and so far everything is good. A lot less noise up in the front. That's how it sits, with the coil and a half cut from the front. It was like a 3-inch drop, and now the rear looks a little bit higher, but the truck is actually leveled. If we drop the rear, the front's gonna look like it's a little higher. I think we would have to go like half an inch in the rear. It looks pretty good. Now we're just needing to replace the headlights and the fog lights because these are pretty old, but we do have them. We just need to find some time to install them. We washed the truck last night and now it's all dirty and dusty because we parked it under a tree. But the front ball joints, they used to clunk a lot going over bumps, and now we don't have that issue, obviously, because these are new and all. But yeah, I think the other side looks a lot better because it doesn't have the dent. It has a broken corner light. Show you guys right here. I'm gonna leave our Instagram in the description section down below, so make sure to check us out. It's Yonke _OXC Films. I'll catch you guys on the next one.